Thank you everyone for joining us for the 2020 Latin America Leadership Awards. I know it's not ideal to do this on a computer screen. Believe me, I miss your faces. I miss a lot of things. For me, some days are worse than others. This year has often felt like one catastrophe after another. And the pace at which the world is changing feels different and more urgent than perhaps ever before. Since the lockdown began, I think each of us has probably had these feelings. Beyond the isolation fatigue, the monotony of video calls, and the lurking pessimism that can come with not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. What I am referring to is a moment where one problem feels compounded by another, and then an image or a conversation or even a tragic event throws that harsh reality into perspective. For me, that moment came late last month. Most of us attending this virtual event were set to gather on June 24th in Mexico City. On what would have been the day of so many of our arrivals, Mexico was hit with a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. In Oaxaca, we saw buildings swaying back and forth, and we know that several people were killed. Landslides were triggered, and a tsunami warning was issued for parts of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. We saw pictures of healthcare workers and patients with IV stands out on the street. And in one particular photo, a young woman is wearing a mask and a face shield and is kneeling on the ground. She is crying into her cell phone, presumably talking to loved ones, and is being held by another who has crouched down to comfort her. Further in the distance is one group of people after another, with their masks, scared, confused, and looking up at the buildings, almost as if they were waiting for everything to come crashing down. That is what it must have felt like for them. In many ways, that's what it has felt like for a lot of people during these last several months. A 7.5 magnitude earthquake is not complicated by the fact that its people are already experiencing the devastating effects of the pandemic. Saying it's complicated by that, as the news reports often do, completely misses the point. It's connected. All of this is connected. And when outlining USGBC's new vision for our second generation last month, we tried not only directly acknowledge that interconnectedness, but also lay out a plan of action rooted in the certainty that crises cannot be compartmentalized. We know that climate risks are tied to health risks. We know that racial injustice is tied to environmental injustice. And we know that resilience is not the result of reactions, but of planning, of careful consideration, and of leadership from our fellow human beings. Resilience is the face of this new reality, both in business and in life. Will require every industry and individual to adapt at a pace we might never have thought possible. It will require all of us to gather under the common banner of humanity and champion a better quality of life for millions of people around the world. And that's exactly what the leaders we are honoring here today are doing. These are visionary project teams, businesses, and members of the USGBC community who truly embody what is at the heart of our mission. That better buildings equal better lives, and even more specifically, that healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy. These 8 Latin American examples of green building leadership are helping create a resilient future, one where we don't have to choose between public health and economic prosperity, where we can expect a guaranteed standard of living instead of a perpetual disparity in our wealth and well-being. So let's jump in, shall we? Our first awardee has what it calls a future-focused approach to ESG. Ranked 6th overall on the 2019 Global 100 Most Sustainable Corporations in the World from Corporate Knights, Prologis has a 3-pronged approach that serves as the foundation for their leadership strategy. Growth, productivity, and you guessed it, resilience. financial resilience, operational resilience, and reputational resilience. A GRESB participating member since 2012, Prologis now has a 5-star GRESB rating, the highest recognition for being an industry leader. But what stands out for me is a consistent company value that we have seen on display time and again. They go first. Prologis is the first logistics real estate company in the world to do a number of things. The first to achieve WELL certification, reported to be first with an approved science-based target. The first to partner with local workforce training programs and address customers' growing needs for skilled labor by putting community members in touch with career-building job opportunities. And the first to receive the Gold Green Lease Leader Award from the Institute for Market Transformation. As a USGBC Gold member, Prologis has hundreds of LEED projects around the world, including in Mexico, where the company has 22 certified projects and 13 more in the pipeline. And there is a reason Prologis leads the Americas and Asia with a top GRESB ranking. It's because of the actionable forms of resilience they prioritize day in and day out. With financial resilience, they have a top REIT balance sheet. Operationally, they are developing proprietary data modeling and tools to assess risk, natural catastrophe factors, and other inevitable disruptors impacting the building industry. And organizationally, they are training on strategy, risk management, and ethics. They are, in their own words, creating a culture where ESG is owned by everyone and all are empowered to do the right thing. As members of the green building community, as USGBC members, we have a duty to do that, to be first in this work and to make it easier to do the right thing. And I'm humbled by Prologis' ongoing commitment to ensuring that happens. It is my honor to present Prologis with the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for ESG. What better time than now to sing for the unsung heroes in this market? In 2013, our next honoree achieved LEED 2009 Gold certification for existing buildings. And with the introduction of ARC, it became the first project in Latin America to recertify an existing building using performance data when it achieved LEED version 4 Gold certification in 2018. Simply put, Torre Mayor is a legendary skyscraper. It's an architectural icon in the Mexican and Latin American green building market. And it's built in the area of Mexico City where a majority of damage occurred in another earthquake, 1985's 8.0 magnitude quake that brought down hundreds of buildings and killed 5,000 people. When Torre Mayor's construction started in 1999, it was built with 96 dampers designed to withstand even the strongest quakes. And in 2003, the same year the building was completed, sure enough, a 7.6 tremor occurred. Not only did the building stand unscathed, but according to the people inside at the time, they were unaware an earthquake had even occurred. What I love about Torre Mayor is that it stands as a living, breathing testament to resilience. It was conceived and constructed to prevent history from repeating itself and to protect a thriving future for its tenants. Since its original construction, the building has installed a water treatment plant that provides 100% water service, in effect reducing the amount of potable water needed. This is especially important in Mexico City, where there are shortages of clean drinking water. With 4 days of self-sufficiency, Torre Mayor can adapt to city-wide water cuts without serious problems. Torre Mayor's achievements are not happening in a vacuum. It was one of Mexico's earliest adopters of LEED. Its 2013 certification signified the beginning of a lasting culture of sustainability for what is now more than 40 tenants and 10,000 daily users at the building. And today, the facilities team works to engage them in reducing the use of disposables and educates them on how to properly separate waste. When we say resilience cannot be reactionary, this is what we mean. Places that are getting it right are always one step ahead. They learn from the past, and they believe that sustainable practices mean planning for the future of the people inside the building, not just the legacy of the structure itself. It's an honor and a privilege to present Torre Mayor with the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for Existing Buildings. Our next recipient is being honored for their work in new construction. When we started our Living Standard campaign almost 2 years ago, we set out to put an emphasis on the difference personal accountability can play in creating better building practices. Since 2018, we have spoken with countless educators, students, developers, and stakeholders who have shown that changing one life can change the world. But it was 3 years earlier when I first realized the seeds of this thinking were already taking root in our growing green building community. In 2015, we led a session on LEED version 4 in Panama, and a young man named Alexander Larios was in attendance. His company had flown him from Nicaragua to explore a bit about LEED and to see if certification for their Plaza Centroamerica in Managua was possible. Keep in mind, Alexander was very new to LEED, and there was no existing certified buildings in Nicaragua to learn from. But they saw an opportunity to be eco-friendly and fiscally responsible, and they jumped on it. Think about all the local, national, and international support networks we have in this green building community. Nicaragua is still new to all of that. To certify a shared commercial and office building that created 270 jobs during its construction phase, and that also guarantees earthquake resistance, without that inherent support that many of us take for granted, is remarkable. It is one of the best examples of innovation and resilience I have ever seen. And when I think about the way we often build, 40% teams, steering committees, and all the people that play a critical role in certification work, I am awestruck by the leadership exhibited by this small and mighty team. Alexander is now a LEED Green Associate and working in Spain. But today, there are 2 LEED professionals living in Nicaragua: Isolda Salinas and Angela Barreto. 2 might not seem like a lot compared to some of our biggest markets, but it is. And it is the sign that even a small project team can help create the foundation of a mighty market and network of support for the country's growing health, economic, and sustainability needs. Plaza Centroamerica's LEED certification is a testament to pioneering work in green building, to a willingness to believe that one person can move the needle, and to the fact that our mission of healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy is relevant in every corner of the globe. It is my great pleasure to present the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for New Construction to Plaza Centroamerica. El Salvador has one of the strongest growing communities of LEED projects and professionals. So it should come as no surprise that our 4th awardee, MP Service Headquarters in El Salvador, achieved Platinum certification in December 2019 under LEED version 4 Operations and Maintenance. And with 91 points, it is the highest scoring project to date in Latin America. MP Service, an engineering company for HVAC, lighting, and elevators, wanted to do a major renovation of their building. And the thing about MP Service that truly warms my heart is that they are data nerds, just like me. They came across LEED through their interest in ASHRAE. They had an in-house team and external consultants working together, and with ARC, the company realized that with more data and better performance, the more the project score would quickly increase. And get this, MP Service Headquarters gathers air quality every 15 minutes. Even our LEED reviewers have asked them to dial back their overachievements and decrease the volume of data because too much was being gathered. But the best part of this project is MP Services' passion for proving the value in green building to others. They have invited the Energy Commission of El Salvador to see the project and to show how the project uses renewable energy, all to make the case that their building provides more resiliency to the grid and does not compete with the energy distribution companies. They hope their advocacy will result in a change in national laws to allow buildings to pursue 100% renewable energy. I talk a lot about how important awareness of LEED is, but also about how its true impact comes when we convert that awareness to adoption. Well, everyone, this is what I'm talking about. MP Service is taking its leadership a few steps further, ensuring its advocacy is purposeful and that it results in action. It does not get better than that. And it is my distinct pleasure to present MP Service Headquarters with the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for Green Building Performance. Our fifth recipient is a double feature. Pepsi World Trade Center, located in the heart of Mexico City, has 36,000 square meters in 23 modular multi-purpose classrooms, a business center, and an auditorium. The World Trade Center receives nearly 4 million visitors in over 120 exhibitions a year. It first certified as LEED Gold Operations and Maintenance in 2013, and in May 2019, they recertified as Platinum. And in January of this year, the Pepsi Center, a concert venue attached to the convention center, achieved LEED Platinum with 88 points. What started off as a challenge from me turned into a project steeped in a love for community gathering, something I know we are all yearning for these days. I toured both projects before certification was completed. And I have to tell you, this is an extraordinarily dedicated team that has achieved phenomenal results. The Pepsi World Trade Center fulfilled 91% of the credits, well exceeding the global and local level averages. A special hydraulic system and efficient bathroom fixtures played the main role for the saving. Waste management obtained 99% of the available credits, and the building offers healthy indoor air quality by maintaining a low level of volatile organic compounds and carbon dioxide. With a fulfillment of 63 of the points in this category, this building surpasses the local and world results. Even one building is a leadership feat, all on its own. But to have multiple structures, multiple certifications, and a consistent commitment to ensuring that 30,000 square meters plays a vital role in both the health and well-being of Mexico City and the health of its economy is beyond anything I dreamed possible. Thank you to the Pepsi World Trade Center for your tireless work. And thank you for reminding all of us that's in our dedication to performance where we do the most important work, proving that people, planet, and profit is a formula for success. It's a pleasure to present you with the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for Green Building Performance. Our next awardee is being recognized for its outstanding portfolio. CCMB is a multi-purpose campus and a multi-structure project for the Institute of Mexican Culture. A single compound in Texcoco, the Bicentennial Mexican Cultural Center, has a library, museum, theater, and classrooms, all certified LEED Gold in July 2019 and using ARC. Architects designed the campus in order to integrate its surroundings and create plazas to bring in culture, art, classes to an underserved community. And in an effort to bring in new jobs for an area plagued by chronic unemployment, Conchicutex, the project developer and operator, only hired local people. The high number of local staff also means most employees can walk, bike, or take short public transit rides to reach work each day. One result of the leadership here has been the behavioral shift among the building's professionals. For example, there was initially resistance to changing the cleaning products because the green products did not smell as good or as clean. But the staff soon learned why greener products are better for their health and the health of the community. Now, they are able to educate others with an understanding of why those changes impact everyone involved. And the facility management team now engages their vendors and suppliers to request more sustainable options. In a variety of scenarios about plastic bottles, disposable cups, waste, and so much more, what we have seen is that LEED inspires leadership, both individually and as a team. Through CCMB's LEED certification, we have witnessed profound personal and emotional investments being made in protecting and preserving this campus. People know that they are not just living up to the standards of LEED, but they are living up to the expectations of their neighbors, that all of us, regardless of background or circumstance, deserve the healthiest, safest experiences possible. I am beyond thrilled to present our 2020 USGBC Leadership Award to the incredible team at CCMB for its portfolio. Latin America and the Caribbean's growing leadership in portfolio achievements continues to amaze me, but it does not surprise me. With 5 LEED version 4.1 projects, all certified LEED Gold through using ARC, our next honoree is a big player in the region. Grupo Roble is a Salvadorian commercial real estate group with a series of shopping malls and office buildings in Costa Rica and an expanding portfolio that stretches across Central America. From the Multiplaza Bogota in Colombia to the Roble Corporate Center in the Dominican Republic, Grupo Roble is broadening their commitment to sustainable building practices in all of their work. And try to wrap your head around this timeline. Grupo Roble's 5 projects that certified in December last year were completed just 1 year after registering in ARC. They achieved LEED Gold for all of them on the same day. That takes real leadership to perform at that level and in that span of time. But it's not only the breadth of their portfolio that is impressive. We are also recognizing them for the passion that has made them good teammates, supportive partners, and engaged members of the green building community. I know many of you have heard me say this over the last couple years, but it bears repeating. A big part of leading is that once you have something to show for it, you have to also be willing to share those lessons with others. Grupo Roble's team understands the broader impact that can come from inclusivity. They convene webinars to outline its best practices and help their communities learn and implement lessons from their work. They have a public commitment to achieve LEED for their entire portfolio of 24 properties, and I have no doubt each one of those will come with a battery of stories and experiences that will help green builders for years to come.
Desde su fundación hace más de 100 años, Grupo Poma se ha caracterizado por buscar siempre la excelencia en la operación de cada una de sus divisiones. Grupo Roble, división inmobiliaria de Grupo Poma, actualmente tiene presencia en 9 países de Latinoamérica y es considerado uno de los principales referentes en el desarrollo de proyectos comerciales, residenciales y torres corporativas en Centroamérica, República Dominicana y Colombia. El uso racional y eficiente de insumos son indispensables para el modelo de administración y operación de los proyectos de Grupo Roble. Debido a nuestra constante búsqueda por mejorar, hace unos años nos trazamos una meta que nos permitiera obtener la certificación LEED en todos nuestros proyectos de torres corporativas para diciembre del 2019. Afortunadamente, debido al sacrificio, dedicación, compromiso, esfuerzo y trabajo en equipo por parte de un excelente grupo de personas, logramos cumplir con nuestra meta, convirtiéndonos en el desarrollador con el mayor número de proyectos certificados LEED versión 4.1 en América Latina. Es un honor para Grupo Roble haber sido seleccionado para recibir el Premio de Liderazgo 2020 por parte del US Green Building Council para esta región. Nuestros proyectos certificados son en Costa Rica, Roble Corporate Center, LEED Gold en nueva construcción, Plaza Roble, LEED Gold en operación y mantenimiento, Escazú Corporate Center, LEED Gold en operación y mantenimiento, en República Dominicana, Roble Corporate Center, LEED Silver en nueva construcción, y en Colombia, Multiplaza Bogotá, LEED Platinum en nueva construcción, y Bogotá Corporate Center, LEED Gold en operación y mantenimiento. Para Grupo Roble, la certificación LEED nos permite validar y acreditar que los esfuerzos están enfocados en la ruta correcta y, a su vez, beneficiar a nuestros inquilinos y colaboradores con espacios adecuados para mejorar su calidad de vida y desarrollo de sus negocios. Al brindar espacios amigables de trabajo, todos nos beneficiamos directa e indirectamente de la siguiente manera. Beneficios directos. 1. Minimizar la huella de carbono y cumplir con responsabilidades corporativas ambientales. 2. Hacer uso responsable de recursos como energía y agua. 3. Gestionar de forma correcta los desechos y residuos. 4. Plan de mejora continua e innovación. 5. Ofrecer un producto de nivel mundial a través del diseño. Beneficios indirectos. 1. Incrementa la productividad de todos los colaboradores. 2. Ayuda a la reducción de ausentismo. 3. Mejora la función cognitiva de todos los colaboradores. 4. Mejora el reclutamiento al poder ofrecer instalaciones a nivel mundial. 5. Logra una mejora en la retención del personal. Por otra parte, la implementación de los requisitos para lograr la certificación LEED nos ha permitido reforzar nuestras gestiones y obtener los siguientes resultados. 1. Formar y sensibilizar a nuestros colaboradores en términos y controles ambientales. 2. Sensibilización en el uso adecuado de recursos. 3. Lograr eficiencias en el uso de recursos como agua y energía. 4. Definir una estrategia e implementar los resultados para mejorar el ambiente laboral para todas las personas que trabajan en nuestros proyectos. La certificación LEED nos ha ayudado a ser una empresa más eficiente en el uso de recursos energéticos y más responsable con la salud y bienestar de nuestros colaboradores, visitantes e inquilinos. Quisiera brindar un agradecimiento al equipo de Grupo Roble, en especial a nuestro departamento de operaciones por su esfuerzo y liderazgo, al señor ingeniero Denis Latouche de la empresa Sinergia y arquitecto María Matamoros de Ámbito Arquitectura y Sostenibilidad por su invaluable consultoría y apoyo en este proceso. Finalmente, me gustaría agradecerle al US Green Building Council, principalmente a su presidente y CEO Mahesh Ramanujam, Nicolette Bonet, directora de Mercadeo para América Latina, y a Sarah Merricks por este reconocimiento tan importante y especial para nuestra empresa. Muchas gracias.
It's a wonderful honor to present Grupo Roble with the 2020 USGBC Leadership Award for its portfolio. And last but most certainly not least is a recipient well known and dear to us here at USGBC. Raul Beraduchi, CEO of Project Management at Bovis, is an exceptional leader in the Mexican green building community. Raul has chosen to make LEED a core part of the Bovis business. He has championed the creation of an internal sustainability environmental management system that is used by all employees to carefully track and monitor aspects of projects either in support of a client's LEED goals or to be able to provide insights into sustainability performance and achievements. Raul firmly believes that you cannot manage what you do not measure, and he has made measurement verification, and certification a core part of the way he and Bovis manage building projects. Raul has used this platform to promote LEED and to advance conversations about improving construction practices, standards, and policies. He played a critical role in convincing Panamericana University to pursue LEED and create a LEED lab to train and empower the next generation of sustainable builders. Following the devastating earthquakes in Mexico in 2017, Raul led the Bovis team in providing critical expertise as architects and engineers performed building risk assessments. This was all in an effort to help the Mexican government focus on the most seriously damaged buildings and at the same time create confidence for people living or working in buildings that were unscathed. This is in addition to the earthquake recovery program for schools that Bovis and BBVA, the Spanish-based bank, have collaborated on together. He has worked to ensure fair wages for construction workers and also launched the Bovis Masterclass in partnership with the Universidad Iberoamericana. Recent graduates of this masterclass obtained the first prize in the International Student Competition in Sustainable Construction of the Lafarge Holcim Foundation in 2018. And it is more than accurate to say that under Raul's leadership, Bovis has not only been a part of many of the largest and most iconic LEED projects in Latin America, but that together they have created a better standard of living and working across the board. Remember Torre Mayor? Bovis managed the construction of the project. And how about the first LEED Gold building in Mexico, HSBC's headquarters? Yep, Raul. SUME, Sustainability for Mexico. Bovis is a founding partner, and Raul's breadth of leadership with the organization is incalculable. The first successful LEED volume program delivering 25 branches of HSBC, Raul. Torre Reforma certified as LEED Platinum. The LEED Silver Roberto Garza Sada Center in Monterrey, a project conceptualized by Pritzker Prize-winning architect Tadao Ando. And Terminal 2 at Guadalajara Airport, the first net zero air terminal in Mexico, is managed by Bovis. The list of Raul's contributions to the green building community is infinite. But what I find most evidentiary of his leadership is the way others have described his quiet guidance, his willingness to support colleagues, to fight for a better quality of life, to help young people without grabbing the spotlight, and to spend more time talking about what has yet to be done rather than what has already been achieved. It is a little ironic, Raul. For someone who likes to measure things, I have to be honest with you. That kind of deeply personal leadership, that kind of modesty, means there are thousands of those softer moments of counsel that cannot be logged as data in a ledger, but that are instead rightfully etched into the minds and hearts of everyone you have impacted in this community. In other words, your kind of leadership, it cannot be measured, but it can be honored. And it is my privilege to do that today. Raul, congratulations on receiving our 2020 USGBC Living Standard Leadership Award. Before we go, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I want to thank the honorees for their lasting contributions to this work. And I want to circle back to what I mentioned earlier, that all of this is connected. We do ourselves no favors when we compartmentalize our crises. Everyone we have honored here today has a unique ability to look at the big picture and to create a world where we can do more to connect the dots. A world where we prioritize sustainability, health and wellness, resilience, and equity. A world in which human life is not compromised but championed as the focus of why we build in the first place. And a world where the connection between healthy people, healthy places, and a healthy economy is highlighted by a willingness to tackle multiple challenges and injustices at once. I wish we could have all been together for this. But I hope this small virtual ceremony is, in some small way, a tribute to how grateful we are for your membership, your friendship, and most importantly, your continuing leadership, no matter what the future holds in store. Thank you all.